Then unanimously approved. And nothing for, there is no action on B and C.
Okay, public comment. During this portion of the meeting, members of the public may address the board on matters not on the agenda if such matters are within the subject jurisdiction of the board. Members of the public may address the board regarding items on this agenda immediately prior to their being discussed by the board. Time limits, generally 3 minutes per speaker, 20 minutes per subject, will be imposed by the board president. The board president may rule on the appropriateness of a topic. If the topic would be more suitably addressed at a later time, the president may indicate the time and place when it should be presented. The board shall not prohibit public criticism of its policies, procedures, programs, services, acts, or omissions as outlined in Government Code Section 54954.3. In addition, the board may not prohibit public criticism of district employees. Whenever a member of the public initiates specific complaints or charges against an employee, the board president shall inform the complainant that in order to protect the employee's right to adequate notice before a hearing of such complaints and charges, and also to preserve the ability of the board to legally consider the complaints or charges in any subsequent evaluation of the employee, it is the policy of the board to hear such complaints or charges in closed session unless otherwise requested by the employee pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. The board president shall also encourage the complainant to file a complaint using the appropriate district complaint procedures. So do we have any public comment on non-agenda items? Procedures. Seeing none, we'll go to the consent agenda.
You skipped information.
Oh, well, there was one, yeah, we did have a letter from,
Michael Lee.
yes, regarding the Williams settlement site visit report. I think everybody saw that in their packets. That's the only thing, only correspondence. Then we'll go to the consent agenda. We have approval of board meeting minutes for February 13th, 2024. Approval of board meeting minutes for February 13th, tribal consultation was the first one, then a regular meeting. Then we have approval of board meeting minutes for February 15th, governance training, and February 27th for governance training. Do I have any comment on the consent agenda items? Hearing none, do I have a motion? A motion. We have a motion made by trustee Gray, seconded by trustee McLaughlin to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. Action items. We have A is to approve overnight field trip to attend the Physics, Science, and Math Days at Great America, May 2nd through May 4th, 2024, at a cost of $7,566. Do we have any public comment on that item? Any board have any questions?
Who's going?
It's the high school.
Oh, okay.
It's high school.
And is the 7,566, was that fundraising or is that from the?
We have it, did you see page, it's on page 28.
We'll do a whole breakdown.
Yeah, he's got a really,
No.
it's a really nice report.
Valley High Speed Center.
So there's like, and he's got it, the agenda, the list of students, is a very, very detailed packet. I thank you, Mr. Brian Hopper, for this detailed backup materials. I know he's not here, but it was very much appreciated. And was that trustee Jackson? Okay, we have a motion made by trustee Jackson to approve. I like to say 3 days, 2 nights, because it sounds more thorough than overnights. Overnight to me sounds like one night, and these are not one night. So approval, motion to approve 3 days, 2 nights, field trip to attend the physics, science, and math days at Great America, May 2nd through May 4th, 2024, at a cost of $7,566. Do I have a second? We have a motion by trustee Jackson, second by trustee Bray, all approve? Do I hear any opposed? Motion approved. Next B, we have approved the two and 1/2 days, 2 nights field trip to attend the Wolf Creek Education trip for 4th and 5th grade students on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2024. Cost of field trip is $1,358.20, paid by the parents, and 2 lunches paid by the school. Well, do I have any public comment on that one? None? And any questions by any of the board? I have a motion made by trustee Jackson, second. Motion made by trustee Jackson, seconded by trustee Bray to approve 2.5 days, 2 nights field trip to attend the Wolf Creek Education trip for the 4th and 5th grade students on April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2024. Cost of field trip is $1,358.20, paid by the parents, and 2 lunches paid by the school. And by the way, this is for Trinity Valley Elementary School. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion is approved. C, 10C is approval of the comprehensive safety plan for 2023. Do I have any public comment on that item? Hearing none, any questions by the board? I have questions. Sorry. I was wondering if there's a, because I didn't see in here anything addressing the students' rights. I see it, but everything is geared towards when the student makes a mistake, of the expulsions, bullying. But I didn't see anything for the addressing students' rights.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen instances like that because it's, I've been in the schools a long time, but I think that we need to make sure that we have training and policy on the students' rights, because students do have rights. Students have civil rights, they have, constitutional rights. And I'm sure Dana could tell you they have a lot of rights that I think sometimes I feel like the school administration thinks that just when a student steps on their campus, they no longer have any rights to search, to seizure, those type of things, but they do have rights. So I would like to see that addressed more thoroughly, and I would like to see training of all our staff on what those rights are. And my other issue with this was, I'm wondering, and Jacqueline knows it's a pet peeve with me are these individual site emergency plans, like for natural disasters, et cetera, that goes along to each individual site is supposed to have, are those getting sent out to the parents? Because I know I haven't gotten any.
They won't. No, they won't.
Because somehow you got to get the information to a parent that when, for an example.
Like the basics.
The basics, yeah, because like when there's a natural disaster, say the bridge flooded out and the parents couldn't, or some of the parents couldn't get to their students at Trinity Valley or over here, over there. I know the school has an emergency plan of what to do, and they have certain staff that will, like, say, have the students in a certain section, and if somebody does come pick up their child, they're supposed to sign them out a certain place. But if the parents don't know what that is, then and the phones are down, then it just gets too chaotic. And I think about those types of things because I live behind a bridge also, and I wonder, well, what would happen if my son was at school or my kids were at school and the bridge went out, and who would I contact? And, you know, I mean, parents have to have at least some basic information of where their kids are gonna be on the campuses. And I recall at Trinity Valley that we did work on a plan like that, and I know I saw it because it had where the parents are supposed to go to talk to a certain staff member about where their child is, or even a phone number that they might be able to call that person to find out when they can come get their child, because they don't want all the parents rushing to school at once when there's some kind of disaster or fire, or, you know, you never know what it is, earthquake, you know, so I'm just wondering if this is the document that we should be including something like that, or if each site is supposed to do something to give out to the parents so the parents know and have an idea what's happening to their children while they're in, you know, when a natural disaster or something like that happens on camp and they're at campus. So, was that too much?
Do we include that in your handbooks already, principals? Any of that?
Not the basics like that, how they have as an
I
emergency.
think that would be an appropriate place though.
Yeah, I do too. I think in our handbooks, we could add
Yeah.
that. We could
Yeah,
add
because
some-
If we had an evacuation drill,
What
where
we
would we
do.
evacuate
Yeah.
How we
to?
do
And
it, the procedures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every school's different.
Yeah.
every school,
Yeah.
Every school.
I don't
So-
currently have that in my plan, but I don't know if any of us do, but we can
you
add
could add
that.
it,
Yeah,
you could add it.
You'll have your emergency plan in-house and you'll have the basic one that you.
Yeah.
Right.
we don't release the emergency plan because we don't want.
That's your
a-
plan in-house.
Yeah, we don't want like a potential threat to be able to look at, whoa, this is what they're gonna do, and now we would know what they would do if.
If
they
there's
were
an
to
active
happen.
shooter.
Exactly.
We do have
Right.
an easy
But
form
there
that
are-
goes into
So-
you.
But there are parts of our plan that probably can be released. to
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
public, right?
Yeah.
Well, and couldn't we just add them to our handbook? I think that's an
And we,
appropriate.
and we
spot.
have that template.
Yeah.
that we can use.
Okay,
We'll add it
well,
to
we're gonna have that.
Each site's handbook.
yes, trustee McLaughlin has the floor.
So I just was gonna say, I know that in one of our documents someplace, there is a portion that states parents and students' rights, and I
It
feel
feels
like
like it's that big packet that goes out to the
And the
parents at the
first-
beginning of the
yeah.
school year.
She agreed.
Yeah.
Right, it is.
yeah.
Yeah, but it is based
Needs
just
to be
like
here
this,
too.
against the bullying, transgender and all of these things. It doesn't really address.
There's a student's rights in there, but it might need to be cleaned up to what we do more now, because I do know that there's certain forms in there that have gone away and that we probably need to clean it up, but there is a student's rights and
Mhm.
stuff in that bigger
Yeah, I
packet.
remember I've seen it too, but it's not really what I'm talking about. I'm really talking more about, when does administration have the right to search? And what are those parameters to search a child if they have, because they have their private backpacks, or whether versus if they're searching a locker? Or, you know, if they're searching everybody who comes off of a bus, school bus, well, is that reasonable cause? You know, when it's, you know, that type of thing,
So the
where,
establishment of probable cause, because you have in your board policy or search and search and seizure procedure, say that 3 times fast. It's in there, and I had to reference it just the last couple of weeks.
yeah, I couldn't find it, so, because I was looking for that too, but
It's
I know,
4090.
I've looked it up before in other areas, but I couldn't find it in this. And so that's why
It's probably not in there.
it's probably not in that if you
It's in the
saw it,
board
some,
policy.
yeah, so.
It's on
we need
Gambit,
to-
it's on
we need
our.
to get it in here too. So, any other questions regarding this?
I'd like to be on this committee. Mr. Martin, they meet once a month.
Safety committee, you wanna be on the safety?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to be invited to that.
Okay.
And then on the authority to expel, it goes down a list a bunch of reasons to expel.
What page are you on?
I'm on page 61 or 19. Is there a code for in the bullying situation where the other kids are part of the bullying? If we talked about this, about conspiring, or being lookouts while that kid gets beat up or something like that, that has them having to be accountable for what they did or what they didn't do in that situation.
I'm not familiar with the code. Well, maybe in Title 4B, but that's the.
Because that seems to be a huge issue with the bully culture. Is the people standing around and not doing nothing.
Instigating and.
Instigating,
And
yeah,
recording.
recording. So is there some way that that can be put in here? So that those kids that are around the bully incident, they're gonna have consequences too.
Conspirators.
Conspirators, yes.
Those are all fears straight into, like,
Mm.
before they do it, so, yeah.
So this is different from that big packet we get when the kids start school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is gonna change a lot too, because we just got new policies and they have to include a lot of information about children with disabilities and other, there's a whole lot of things have to be that's that we currently going on.
I saw stuff about that in them.
But not as what they want, it's really detailed, really detailed to do it.
Okay, I also had another question about these initial pages. If we're gonna have to redo it, I would like there to be a little more consistency with like parent /community member. In some places it said parent or community member, just some continuity.
Okay.
If we're gonna redo it, I didn't mark it all up because it's a really nice looking document right now. And it's gonna be to do every year, we're gonna change it, just clean it up next time. Okay, do I have here a motion to approve the comprehensive safety plan for 2023-2024? With a couple of edits that we talked about.
And another question, I don't see where there's like a hate crime thing when people are targeted for race, gender. Is there something like that in here? Like a hate
Time frame
crime?
for what? Could you repeat that?
Hate crimes.
Oh, hate crime.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll add it, go under bullying,
Yeah.
and it's all bullying is kind of hate crimes. Okay, do I hear a motion? Second? Okay. Have a motion made by trustee Jackson, seconded by trustee McLaughlin to approve for approval of the comprehensive safety plan for 2023-2024 with edits we've talked about. All in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none, motion approved. Next, we have the approval of changes to Orleans Elementary School Plan for Student Achievement, STSA. Do I have any public comment on that issue? Hearing none, board member questions? The changes are just that initial sheet, right?
Yes, we're just moving some money around a little bit.
Moving money around. Motion made by trustee Bray. Do I have a second?
1 second.
Seconded by trustee McLaughlin. Motion to approve, for approval of changes to the Orleans Elementary Plan for Student Achievement. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion approved. This last one is asking for approval to sell surplus iPads to Acorn Wireless. Rico?
We had some questions last time, Rico, so we're hoping you can clarify.
I had a question. Why are we not offering them like to our own students?
We're not allowed to, I believe we're not allowed to, gift like public school, like funded devices or anything that we purchase.
But we can auction, right?
We could sell them to them, I guess.
Yes, yeah, I guess that's right.
Yeah, if we had somebody that wanted to like take it and sell them. It would be a lot, I guess, if you're trying to sell one at a time. And it would. It's possible, but the reason why I brought the airport wireless thing to us is because. I talked with them about it. I kind of gave them like, hey, we have a bunch of extra devices that are going away that because we're replacing the Chromebooks. And they have a grant that allows them to either buy new or used devices. And if they're used, they can refurbish them. And then that grant allows them to purchase them and then they hand them out to the community. So they have a person there that will either have it at the library here, I believe, or downtown, and they can, so students could potentially just go there, get an iPad, and then they will also help them set up, I mean, the students probably don't need help with the iTunes account and like how to use it, but it's a program that helps get devices out to the community and helps like them utilize the internet more.
Is it possible that they could be distributed in different communities?
I don't know about the other communities, but I don't believe that there's anything that stops people from coming here to receive them. And
What
so,
would be the criteria for getting an iPad for a student, let's say?
to show up to one of their, rollouts, I guess, or I can't remember exactly what they were calling them, but they would just show up and want to participate in getting an iPad or they purchased other devices. I think we got one from them and it was just a device, like an Android device that they purchased. And you just show up and they're like, do you feel comfortable utilizing it? And if you say no, then they can help you like walk you through like what type of account to get and how to utilize it and stuff like that. So for a student, they would show up and I mean, they probably don't need the help with the iTunes accounts and stuff like that, but they could sit there and if they wanted to, they could show them how to get their own iTunes account and do all that type of stuff.
So I was just wondering if they could be made available to, for example, Anchupan, or does the Yurok tribe have another internet service provider?
No, just their own.
They have
Yurok Connect.
Yurok Connect, that people down there, are they connected to it? Like if you're going downriver?
Yeah, not everybody, but it's, cause it's still tower based, so there are areas that can't be reached, but yeah, they do have
What?
some downriver but mostly in Klamath.
I guess, and I don't know, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I would like to, I think it would be really difficult for kids for families from Jack Norton to get up to Hoopaw.
Yeah.
To, get in line to possibly get an iPad, but if we made them available in other places, Willow Creek, Orleans, Witchpeck maybe.
Yeah.
Then I could see that they would be beneficial to all students.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to them about more about their, like what their capabilities are, I guess, to disperse them, but,
I don't think Acorn goes downriver.
no, they don't, cause you're on
Orleans,
Connect, that's
but
their,
it's just here.
and like, yeah,
But Anchupan, say if the same offer was made to Anchupan or to Yurok Connect.
yeah, I don't know if they have, so like the only reason why Acorn Wireless is doing it is because they have a grant that they have to buy devices, well, they don't have to, but it's just something that they can do for the community, so like they get funding, they have this grant funding that they can use to purchase these devices and hand them out. I don't know if Yurok Connect or Anchupan are utilizing that type of, or if they went after one of those grants to get that or not, I'm not sure. If they did, then I can see them being interested, but I'm not sure if they are or not. They haven't, I haven't reached out to them or anything.
Do you know what if I could find that out for you, at least from Anchupan?
I think part of it too is probably the incentive to recycle older devices.
Yeah,
It's part of the grant.
yeah. Well, I mean, the
You
biggest
know,
thing is like for
you
us,
have
it's
to-
either we pay to have them dumped or we sell them to somebody. Those are like our only two options, right? And they just have a grant that they could buy
So how much are you getting per item?
I was looking into, there's a couple of companies that will buy like older devices, but ours, they were like $5 a piece they would give us. And I talked to these guys about it and they're willing to do like 20 to 15 because it's just an older device. They're all way older. They'll work fine. The only thing is like for us is we have to license them to be able to manage them, or we have to license our management program to utilize them, and we're not gonna do that because we're not gonna be using them. We're just using the Chromebooks for the students now. So,
Or they are updatable then.
yeah,
How many are there, Rachel?
there is a little bit over 100, I believe. I just looked at the list earlier.
Yeah, it's a huge list.
So either we pay to recycle these, or this grant, these people pay us to take them off our hands.
Right,
Yes, yes, because like that's about all the options that we got.
which is easy when you start.
I recommend that ourselves.
Yep, I end up.
And then they go downtown and they have them out, just like those free phone booths that you see where people get free cell phones like
And
that.
100 is not very many. It's not like there's enough for all the schools anyways, like.
No, I was thinking more for students' personal devices at home. For students to
But
be able
still,
to-
I mean, out of almost 1,000 kids in our district.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to have, like, this way, they're gonna make your money back and it's done deal, not sitting somewhere waiting to see who's gonna come along, maybe get it, and then it stays sitting in my warehouse, basically over there until it's, I gotta go and finally get rid of it after 100 years and not having no more space in over there. But I see what you're saying. You're thinking that, well, maybe if Acorn Wireless was gonna take it, but maybe this, like up there, they would maybe wanna take 50 of them and they could do the same thing and make the same money and offer it, so.
I mean, they could even donate them back to the school and they could be used as, you know, whatever whatever that thing is where you get points and you get the prize. Incentives. I don't know.
Then we inherit it back, and then what happens is then the expectation comes back to the district, and then they want us to start the
Well, no,
refit
no,
the
no,
whole
we
wheel
would get them back, but somebody could get them and.
So that's usually what happens in the past when we surplus stuff like that. Then they come back and there was a code on it, or there was something, or we don't have the software, we can't make this thing that we got from the school, now you owe us this. It seems like the stuff that we try to do that with, it seems like it comes
I will
back.
completely shut up if there's,
No,
if there's other principals that say, no, let's just get rid of them. Get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
If there's money, yeah. you can get rid of-
out.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
But your
for it.
motion, not surplus.
It's hard.
Because our kids do have devices
Yeah.
at school. I like the idea of them having something at home, but. There's only 100, it's not like it's that, there's enough for everybody anyways.
And I would encourage Acorn Wireless to like, please put this out there to all of our like
Yes, and I
surrounding
mean, like,
areas.
I can definitely have them let me know when they're gonna have those sit downs, and I can just email it to the principal or to all the students even if I
Yeah.
wanted to.
I mean,
Like, hey,
that's what
just
we
a
do
heads up,
in-house,
go
we
down
just
there and
say
get
this
that-
day, and just, yeah.
Yeah, to go down there and get an iPad. So I can make sure that happens, yeah.
These the ones that they gave us?
The-
Apple?
These are the ones that we had to buy to like keep iPad or one-to-one devices,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, Apple gave us.
Gave us to start up, yeah, and then over the years, we had to like start
Had
getting.
to replace some of them if they got broken.
Do I hear a motion?
Well, I'm making a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve salary and surplus iPads to Acorn Wireless. You made that motion, trustee Jackson?
Martha did.
No, she said she was. She said she would.
I'll make the motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
And I do have the right to make motions.
You do,
I try not to.
but you can't if nobody
But I
else.
can if nobody's
Yeah.
gonna. So President Hodge makes the motion for approval to sell surplus iPads to Acorn Wireless, seconded by trustee Jackson. All in favor? Any opposed?
I'm not gonna look at that. They don't even want to.
Okay, item F, we come to the addition to the agenda. This is for for approval with yeah. We want to do the Hoop Elementary School Plan for Student Achievement SPSA for 2023-2024. Approval. Any questions or comments by the community? Do the board members have any questions?
Yeah.
I found some.
Okay, trustee Gray. We have a couple of questions.
Yeah. On staffing and professional development, it says all certificated staff. Like 3 of them. We all certificated staff meet requirements of being highly qualified under the age regulations.
What page you on?
3. Oh,
3 of 55.
Okay.
And I even emailed you about that one,
Okay.
about the highly qualified. And you said you were gonna change it.
Yeah, we were gonna change that, because we're not highly qualified and this is like a living document where it is constantly gonna be updated because every year things change. And so one of the recommendations from, the site council is that we need to go through all of this data and change it because it is old. It is an old thing. And they haven't done that yet.
so we're approving something that we know is not correct? Is that what I'm hearing? I mean, I really don't understand, because I have to work. And it's data that I know is not correct. I mean, it's obvious.
Ask
it's
about
not the like, page. I don't know, I'm trying to find it, yeah.
It's page 15 of 55 regarding the foster youth number there in the box.
Yeah. Says 5. No, that's not true. That is way off.
Yeah.
And so if that number right there, messes with your funding completely, because if that's what's reported to CalPAS,
It's probably a typo.
Is there any way to check that?
yeah.
Well,
This has
unless
to
that means percent. Because I'm looking here, you have 20
Maybe.
foster youth, and it says 5%.
Oh, okay. 5%.
Same page, just go down.
Okay, it must be percent because.
So I'm thinking that it means percent, like we might have
Here.
78.1% socioeconomic dis. 0.3% English language learner, not even a full percent, that's accurate.
So you think?
And
they're all
I believe
percentages?
that is 5%.
Are all these numbers are 78.1, is that a
Yes,
percent
because they're
too?
down here on the bottom.
Okay,
So,
so,
yeah, I see now. Okay, that's,
so you have 91 people homeless,
Yep.
91 students homeless, and only 20 are foster or.
Because homeless can
Use
use
it.
couch surfing, homeless can be out there with a family
So
member
in
on a couch with some other people.
They're not the same.
No, foster.
Foster,
Can be, though.
they can be, but if you wouldn't, oh, I know what you're looking at is foster youth being homeless because they're in a foster home. Is that what you're?
Because they're living with grandma or auntie or somebody that's not their parents. Whether the tribe placed them there, whether this to me is like maybe 20 kids, you have 20 kids, you're saying. That is probably just placed by
An
Child
organization,
welfare.
yeah.
child welfare.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case anymore. You can count anyone placed by the tribes, by
veteran family, relative care or guardianships.
right, you can.
Does that include those also?
I believe that would probably go under the homeless part.
Yeah.
That's my interpretation.
Guardianship? I don't
Yeah.
think guardianship would fall under homeless.
If they don't
Or
have an
relative
adequate
care.
home for themselves and they're
foster care,
living
I
with
think.
families, that's
Yeah, but if it's
It's-
guardianship, it's something legal.
right. Okay, that would
Yes.
be foster.
That would be, so.
Or Indian Indian parent.
That's just probably something to look at.
Okay.
I did, your dog did,
so.
so I'm gonna, Trish is my data person, so.
Yeah, just look slow.
Can we just strike highly?
Yes,
On the
strike
policy?
highly.
Just strike the highly and go with
Just
qualified.
count your teachers and get a percent.
Yeah.
If you had 22 teachers, how many of those are highly
That's
qualified?
that's what we heard should be there, is the percentage of highly qualified.
Oh, so we don't wanna strike highly.
We just need a percent. We know it's not 100 because they have waivers.
Yeah.
7 of them are on waivers.
No,
Yes, we're gonna get a percentage of the percentage. We need a
So
percentage.
we'll add that.
Because that's what.
Yeah, we have 7 staff that are on waivers right now, which are not highly qualified out of, I think, 26 staff members.
26 teachers?
Teachers. Yeah, it's quite a bit. I've been spending a lot of time going to classes.
Yeah, because of the
Uh,
orders.
To start mentoring and coaching and saying, showing how to prepare for a classroom and stuff for those teachers, because they haven't been to teacher college. And so they don't know what a lesson plan is, or they don't know what a curriculum plan is, or they don't know, so a lot of that stuff they're missing. So I've been just going in and mentoring and coaching and giving them.
So that's 73% are
Okay.
highly qualified.
7 out of 26 would be 73. Okay, just write that. I know.
And then I will go into document tracking services and change that.
Yeah, 73%.
Any other changes?
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Oh, Frank.
This dashboard thing. I've seen it, and then all the gauges are low and stuff, and
It's the dashboard.
for years,
Page 16.
I've heard it many times that it's always been the same. It's always been the same. It's never been all the way to the positive.
And it got
So-
lower. From last year to this year, it got lower.
And so I would like to see, just pick one and say, what did we do about it? What can we improve about it? What grade is that? What, you know,
Well,
more information than just the
yes,
dashboard.
okay, so that is excellent that you asked that question. So like, for instance, reading at Hoopa L has been disastrous for the past 2 years, and before that, COVID hit for 2 years. So, what I came in and witnessed that, and here's that 3-letter word, SFA. I stopped that because it doesn't work. It works beautiful in small schools. They're all having very good success. But at Hoopa L, it wasn't working for a variety of reasons. And one was the staff didn't know it. So if you see all our highly qualified people, there's a constant turnover. And the training that's provided isn't in-depth enough for all continuously new people. The other thing is that I did away with SFA and, I stopped it, and I just ordered $60,000 worth of Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, which your early learning block grant people, the state people came up and I met with them, and they said not one red flagged school district in the state of California uses SFA. They use one of top 3, and they gave me the top 3, and I decided to go to Houghton just to try it out. And but we are keeping TK kindergarten, 1st grade using SFA because they're getting it and they like it, and their kids don't move anywhere. So we've stopped the leveling. All kids stay with their homeroom, and the homeroom is teaching reading now. So we should see, like I was saying, that I'm going into classes and I'm giving professional development and mentoring and coaching to those teachers that are non-qualified. And one of the things that I'm starting with 5th and 6th. So I make, out of all my experience of being an educator, and I made a spelling packet, and I went in and I showed the kids, and the teachers watching how you instruct just for spelling. And it was very powerful. And as a matter of fact, Quentin Matilda, who was my sub, he was in the class watching, and he goes, wow, I feel honored to get to see you teach. And I was like, yes, all you have to do is get the right programs with the classes and then classroom management, you know, and then pair it together. And then the kids were on it. They just were going through it. I left the class to go do something and I had to take a piece of paper back. And I expected to see, you know, kids walking around and stuff. I go in there and they're all working on their packet. And I was like, wow, right on. So we're changing the curriculum and instructional, like this Thursday, we're gonna have a professional development. Mr. Colton is gonna show them how to do a lesson plan in 5 minutes. So we have technology that can do all lesson plans. So we're bringing in so we can get our reading scores up. So that's one. There's all of these need to be absenteeism. We sent out our second SARB letter and now the parents are coming in. Our parent contact were 4 pages long of everyone who was absent. I said, okay, I'm gonna split that list up. I've got 2 counselors, I've got 2 outreach. Here's your list. You need to call all of these people and I want notes and I wanna know why. And so it's down to like 3/4 of a page now. That's really intensive. Our attendance is going very well. Colton's been meeting with parents that are coming in. He went back, he knew that they weren't gonna show up, some of them. But I said, schedule them anyway, and they're showing up just to come in and talk about the absences. So that's what we're doing for our absenteeism. Next year, we're doing it from right on it. Now we know the timelines, and so we're gonna keep it going. And the suspension rate, well, that's red, so it's probably gonna be very high this year because we're addressing bullying, we're addressing, you know, things like that. You can't come to school and disrespect and talk back to the teacher. You can't come in and hit other students and stuff like that. And so I can say right now, at the beginning of the school year, every day Colton would get a referral. Because I demanded that the staff, you write a referral. If you're being disrespected, if you're being pounced on, if you're, you know, whatever's happening in the classroom, you need to write a referral. They stopped writing referral when there was a principal there that didn't want the school to have a bad, you know, reputation. But not writing referrals doesn't stop bad behavior. It's just a myth. And so now I said, if you send a kid up to me, you better be following it with a referral. And so our suspension rate is gonna go up. At the beginning of the school year, Colton had like 14, 15 referrals a day. Now he gets 2. So now that the kids know and the staff know that we're addressing suspensions, we're addressing ill behavior, we're addressing that, it's calmed down. I just took a group of 7th and 8th grade kids to the skating rink in Blue Lake and pizza afterwards, and then the Dollar Tree, because we got stranded a little bit. But 75% of our 7th and 8th grade students went on that trip. The guy at the roller rink said, I've never seen such a big group of kids so well behaved. Went to the pizza place, they all got pizza, hot wings, drinks. And the pizza manager said, I've never seen a whole group of junior high kids so well behaved. And so the thought is, you know, the kids at Hoopa L are bad, but you know, are misbehaving and stuff. It's not that way. Our campus is nice and calm now. We have kids actively learning. It's great. It's a wonderful school, and it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work with the staff. It didn't happen overnight. We had to have professional development. Here's how you manage your class. Never turn your back. Always watch your kids. You know, just little things like that. And so we're addressing that. So the mathematics, we just adopted a brand new mathematics curriculum. All the schools are using it. And so time will tell if that is going to help but one of the other things, we also brought in IXL math. So when you're done with your lesson, you can go on. It leveled all the kids exactly where they're at in math, and it takes them and it keeps them going, and the kids love it. So we have IXL math and IXL reading. Looking good.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Jackson. And the motion will be to approve the Hoopa Elementary School plan for student achievement SPSA for 2023-2024 with edits.
Yes.
Do I have a second? Seconded by trustee McLaughlin. All in favor? Any opposition? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a lesson for me.
Okay, next we have reports. So I don't think everybody needs to go through their reports. I think that we've read them. Do we have any specific questions on any report by anyone? I do.
You don't have to stay late today.
No, I just wanted to mention that, well, actually, I was supposed to do our reports. Oh, we'll do them after. I was just wanting to remind our principals that we wanted to get the ADA percentages every month. And, I'm not gonna name names, but we know who didn't. And we want to know, and we want to get it by grades if possible.
Oh,
So we need it by grades, and we got most of them by grades. We didn't get, Scotty, did you bring a report?
I did, I brought a verbal report. I did.
Oh, okay, well, why don't you go ahead
I
then?
neglected to, if you let him, I can go ahead and talk about it. I just wanted to touch, I got some bullet points here. We have parent contacts happening this week, starting today. Our staff participated in some professional development over the last month with a gentleman named Jay Advani, who's been working for us as a son, fantastic guy. I am poised to finish up my teacher evaluations this month. And our students are participating in the second round of a Voice of Our Own organization that's working with us through the tribal ed. And they are in the midst of putting together a full-blown documentary. We have approximately 20 students that are working with them regularly, doing writing things like screenwriting, songwriting, poetry, just anything we could do to embellish the opportunities for them. So, and it's been going fantastic. Some of our kids we haven't been able to reach haven't done that. And then if you wouldn't mind, I'll read Doug's report on athletics. Our spring sports are in full swing. Our golf team has participated in 2 tournaments. Several players improving on their score from the first to the second tournament. They will go to Del Norman 325 for the 3rd HDNL golf tournament. The track team attended the 51st annual John Frank Invitational Track Meet this past week in Shasta Lake. They will be headed to the Burt Williams Classic this coming weekend, hosted by Central Valley High School in Reading. Their first HDNL League meet will be held on 327 Fortuna High School. And the JV and softball teams are nearing the end of their short seasons, with the baseball boys competing against McKinleyville and Fortuna, with the hopes of getting a game against Trinity that was rained out earlier this season. And we're actually playing Etna. Well, it's probably over now, but we were playing Etna this afternoon as well. JV softball is traveling for a game against McKinleyville today, and we'll finish the season with 2 more games against St. Bernard's. The varsity softball team has had a couple of games rained out, rescheduled for later in the season. So far, they've competed against Fortuna, McKinleyville, as well as attending the league jamboree. They're heading to Medford for a tournament on 325. We'll begin league play on 329. Varsity baseball has been part of St. Bernard and Fort Bragg tournaments the past 2 weekends. They were able to get their first win of the season against Trinity High School, and they begin league play against Ferndale on 322.
Wow, thank you. That was some speed reading. Yes.
That's your son.
Excuse me? My son never comes to see me.
Okay, and I did have a question about the subs on Tabuchi, but she's not here, so.
I have a question for Jennifer on yours.
Yep.
You mentioned that on the track
And I can feel that the throwers are doing their best without regulation size shot put rings or discus rings.
Cause we don't have that. We never have.
Really?
Is it difficult to do?
Well, space wise, we don't have enough space to put a discus ring without eating into the football field or the baseball field.
Okay.
So we just kind of have them sit at one end of the track and just start throwing. The shot put ring is cement and most of them nowadays are rubberized, but we'll work on it.
I think Missy had something in her report about, was that for the shot put?
They
or-
wanted to put in, they asked right in the, like when track started. They just were asking like probably for a 4x4 slab of cement, enough just to put. So that they can move over behind like the visitors bleachers, just enough space that they could get something in there.
Because the
But
shot puts dig holes into the
the
field.
football fields, I guess,
And
right
then
now,
every time,
yeah.
yeah, and then that makes our field not regulation, and people spraining their ankles and stuff out
So I
there.
didn't see a problem with getting that part of it, because we have the space and I don't see that we couldn't put in a 4x4 slab of cement just to help them in that way, and then they would be behind like the bleachers where you see from the highway, that it seemed like there was enough space there, so that was something that maintenance, and we were looking into if we were gonna be able to achieve that for them, to get them that far.
We tried to do it between two of the buildings, we kept breaking.
We're ripping up the football field right now.
I just wanted to, point out a couple of things on mine.
Okay,
It's been a little bit over a year that I've been in the new position. And it's been fun. It's been definitely a learning curve. I like it so far though. I just kind of wanted to point out some of the stuff that we were able to accomplish as a district. And my department's been doing great. I like the people in there, they're doing really good. We were able to double our bandwidth, expand our bandwidth with our connection with Acorn Wireless. They gave us a 200 meg connection. We previously only had one 200 meg connection, now we have two. And that's helped us a lot, seeing that we can actually fill up both pipes really easily. It's kind of crazy. The other one was we got a new website district-wide for all the schools in the district. And it seems like a lot of the school sites are able to, it's a little more user-friendly. They're able to like update them more and add more pictures. I've seen a few people add a lot of stuff to them, and it's actually been going really well so far. And we also just got the new Zoom phone system. We're still working on a little bit of bugs, but we had to do it at some point, and I just kind of like Band-Aid it, rip it off. We're still working on it. It's doing good so far though, but we can tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit better.
I've heard some complaints about that.
Yeah.
But it is making progress.
It is.
I have a question for Missy.
Yeah.
On your wish list.
thank you, Rico.
It says,
Copyright.
Were you done, Rico? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, those are the.
Go ahead.
on your wish list, it said remodel the old library at Hoopa High School because the room is now vacant.
Yes, so there's a big dream of that. That room has now become, it's a pretty good sized room. And we're always hearing that we need fitness, we need, you know, all these things, and we have the perfect spot for that now. And there's a well laid out plan. It does cost quite a bit, but it would replace all the equipment and stuff in there that is much needed. And I can see our students and our community benefiting from it. It's a very beautiful plan that's been put in place right now. We're gonna try to do something with it, which it's old. We know it's in the old B wing at the high school. So we have reports of, you know, the tile, what we're up against in there and that and stuff like that. So I don't feel like the plan that got laid out is an extreme budget that is gonna cost us more to putting in a beautiful weight center with all kinds of equipment and fitness center. Everyone, you hear it all over the community. We don't have enough of that here in our area. And I think that it is good. I think that we should move in some ways or redoing that. I know we have things that we need to get done, like right now we're moving forward on the HVAC systems and all that, but it is a dream and I would like to see, you guys see the plan that was laid out that Mr. Douglas and Mr. Benning and, Scotty might have been involved in that, of where they went and seen another place and they laid it out what it could look like. And it's really beautiful and the whole, as-built of it is already built for it and it looks really, really pretty. It is a pretty little penny, but our equipment also is not suitable for what our students can use in there, and it should actually be starting to get banned. Because we do get written up from the inspector that comes out and says, you can't have tears, you can't have holes in that, start getting rid of it, but then we have nothing. So there's some things, and we have a room right now that is open and ready to be used, and I see a good need for something like that going in there, and they got some equipment that they got donated already, and there's big like Fitness Planet and all of them out there that want to get rid of equipment, but we have nowhere to go with it. So we don't have a weight room, we don't have a fitness, we don't have the space, but that space is there, but it needs work. It needs new floors put in it, it needs some new walls put on it, and we can, go with that, but there's a lot of things we can't do in-house as just maintenance no more without going DSA route, doing all that.
Right, because I know that's been a long-term plan too. I know that that's been the plan since the IT building started going, that they get be out of there and then that room could go and be a weightlifting room, which is a real huge need at the high school.
And it could be a very beautiful, it's nice space, it's a big space, and I can see that.
Can we see the plan or where is? it?
Yeah, I have it, I'll send it to you guys for the next, I could email it to you guys too, cause
Yeah.
it was just finally presented to me. I didn't know they looked that far into it, but they had already met with somebody. It was beautiful.
And there was one in particular that we really liked where it would have like an astroturf field in the middle of it. And we're talking to a couple of artists that we really like to get a really big mural with some indigenous sports stuff on there.
Just the floor padding and stuff, because we're gonna be doing that anyway. Like, I was trying to get some stuff done this summer, but it's still gonna cost us too. And no matter what, we're gonna have to deal with the tiles, and we know what those tiles are, so.
Well, maybe you can put something over them and not have to disturb them. But yeah, that's because I think that should be a priority also, because I know it's been in a plan for
And
a long
it's a
time.
big room, so it's gonna be, it's gonna cost a little bit. It's a big room, expensive, but.
Well, yeah, we're very interested.
Well, I'll send you what they did. They did a lot of good homework on it. I didn't even know they had met with somebody, but the plan that they presented for me was very beautiful and it was very nice. And I think that we deserve that. And I think that the community and the kids would really highly benefit from that. So, and they've been out for so many years of not having anything like that, we've moved them in rooms smaller than this, and you make the best of it of a weight room. You move over here and you make the best of this. We've been in construction since 2015, and we're just now starting to come to light of like what that feels like in the brand new rooms and all that. But that area just opened up because we got a high-tech building, so yeah.
Great.
So
Also was hoping that you could add to your landscaping, the baseball field and the back playground area at Trinity Valley.
Yes.
I know we talked about it before.
That is a big goal,
Yeah.
and I have community members that are very interested in that one. I also have community members that are very interested in replacing their one here in Hoopa. But those two are open. I've already had somebody in the community that, at Trinity Valley that came in and helped and got stuff cleared out that was left over from construction, because they want their field back, and I do too. And it's the same with the little baseball field over here. And this year, we're really getting hit with it because everywhere else is shutting down. And so our facilities are starting to want to get used even more. And so even more people are interested in, there was talk that we could get like volunteers and sponsors to come and help if they could utilize it, and maybe, have memorial on things and just be able to use it. They want to put money, they want to help. So, but I do want to see those two fields get done in the future.
All right.
Sooner than not.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question about something in this?
Want to crack.
The fence that, Orleans shares with our neighbor. That's something that was brought up a while ago.
So
I don't know what we need to do.
so what happened with that was about last year, or maybe even the year before that?
Well,
We found out that somebody that lived right next to the school for a lot of years finally sold the property that they lived on. Well, what came about was the district ended up owning over an acre and more of the land that was ours that we never knew about until the property sold. So now we need to put a fence around what is ours, but we're butting up against another neighbor, another property owner up there.
Another property.
Yeah, that he wants his side fence, and so he's wondering when we're finally gonna do ours, or if we can go in halves, or if he can. But we have to fence in our side, it now belongs to us, we know it now, and we do need to do something and gain our property back, because I never knew until it sold out to other people that we gained quite a bit back of. I mean, there was orchard, there's orchards there.
Not interested in buying it, because that's one of the things we had talked about.
And then there was that talk like last year that would we be willing to sell that chunk back to somewhere, and it's just been there, but now it's ours and it has a little orchard on it. It has things on it, and so, but we do need to fence in ours because I do know we own it, so, and so.
Okay.
And that costs money too, so.
Yep, that costs money.
Yeah.
Anything else?
You said there was band weight equipment at the high school? Or,
We have some equipment that's in pretty ill repair. We have some equipment that's been sitting outside of the gym because we haven't had a spot to put it in.
what are you gonna do with that stuff?
Well,
That's
I
part of it.
want to put it in there, whether it's gonna be in the weight room, we're gonna make that the weight room, that old library, the old library. But, so one way or another, it's going in there, but I wish to do some work with it because it needs some.
Those are treadmills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
weights.
Elliptical machine.
Yeah, there's some weights left over from the little tiny weight room that we have right now that's not even the size of this little area.
Mhm.
But they're worn and that we were starting to get dinged on some of that stuff. They need to be replaced.
Will the community be able to use that?
Anybody can put in for a use permit to use our facilities.
Okay, well, let's move on to the trustee area reports. You guys want to just go ahead and, since there's just our staff here, we could just do those next month. I just want to say, I think you guys are all doing incredible jobs. Our athletics programs are just phenomenal. Our kids are doing so great, you know, and I really think that the more sports and the better the sports programs, our students do better. And I can really see it happening, and I really appreciate that. It's been really beautiful to watch. Thank you. Anything else?
Well, I'd just like to add, well, I mean, the three schools that I have students at are Orleans, Trinity Valley, and Hoopa High now. And I just want to say, I am so confident in my students getting what they need in their schools. And I just can't thank you guys enough for how hard you work and going so above and beyond what you ever need to do. And Hoopa High, who when I was a kid, you know, didn't have a really great reputation, but now I confidently say to people, send your kids to Hoopa, it's a great school. You know, I thank all you guys for so much.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything, Lewis? Lori didn't know who you were.
I didn't know who you were saying staff and everything, and you're obviously a member of the community. I didn't want to skip over you. Okay. All right.